back to it at the end of the day. Especially since I probably would have been put farther back. Anyway. Lapras murmurs to herself. Her head hangs lifelessly as she stares at her mechanical limbs. The shock slowly drains from her pale face, replaced with a bitter comprehension. Across from us, the shadow glares at me with a piercing, menacing stare.
You can't be! I am the same as you. 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. Aegis. I am the model that came after you.
Are you here to seize her? I won't let you! Not when I'm almost free!
The shadow turns to its double and cries out impatiently.
Or do you want to be caught and locked in a cramped little box again?
Her eyes wander in search for something to settle on, and eventually fixated on Yosuke. But he is still in shock, unable to speak in the heat of the moment. That moment of silence is enough to shatter any hope of a peaceful resolution. Lapras smiles lifelessly and hangs her head.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I was just a little surprised.
Shame, poor Yosuke. Like, he is definitely telling the truth, no doubt about that, but boy, does it come across bad.
No, it's okay. That's how a normal person would react.
Her sad, weak voice makes my heart ache.
I won't let you take her back. I will gain my freedom, whatever it takes.
Suddenly, the shadow fires its arm out. A long chain trails from behind it, wrapping itself around Lapras many times over. The shadow begins to pull her in with its winch. Unable to struggle, Lapras is dragged over to her captor, who lifts her over its shoulder. The shadow then runs full speed out of the announcement room. This is completely new. It fled to with such explosive velocity that it is hard to believe if it was carrying its own weight.
Wait!
I give chase. It is unfortunate that I cannot explain the situation to Yosuke-san, but I have no choice. I exit into the hallway and see the shadow make for the stairway leading upwards. This is the top floor, so it must be heading to the roof. I climb to the landing and take the stairway 2 steps at a time before throwing open the door. But what I find there is not what one would expect on the roof of a building. It is best described as a TV studio. The spotlight hanging from the scaffolding, and the spotlight hanging from the scaffolding, the cameras here and there. Up until now, no matter how warped things got, they still look like part of a school, but not here. What is this place? Just then, the door behind me slams open again, and a boy comes running out, breathing hard. It is Yosuke-san. I am perplexed. Why did he chase after us? There is no one here who would warrant leaving. There was no one here who would warrant leaving his friend and Rise-san's side. Suddenly, the area is shrouded in a menacing aura. The shadow appears. It is still carrying Lapras over its shoulder. Lapras shouldn't be unconscious, but she isn't showing any sign of resistance.
Pests. Too bad for you. The Grand Prix is still on. Have fun wasting time fighting each other.
Hey, wait! Ow, whoa!
As soon as Yosuke turns around to give chase, he runs up against something. I try stretching out my hand. Just as I thought, there was an invisible wall. Though it wasn't there when I climbed up the stairs. The only back door into the school is one beyond the wall. In other words, we are trapped. Yosuke-san hangs his head in shame and looks at me awkwardly.
This means we have to fight. Sorry, I feel like I got in your way.
I came here without thinking and fell right into the enemy's trap. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. But as I see it, it isn't Yosuke-san who should be apologizing.
I'm so sorry for all this.
Huh?
We are the ones ultimately responsible for this incident. I am sorry to have dragged you all into it. If your friends are safe, I would suggest you evacuate at once. But in these circumstances, I must go after her.
There's no need for you to take the blame. I mean, I feel the same about wanting to go after her.
Why? I'm not sure this concerns you.
I promised I'd protect her, but I couldn't back her up when she needed me the most. So, I want to apologize and actually keep my promise this time. I feel like I can't leave her alone right now.
In his eyes, I could see a glimmer of
I
determination.
should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
I review the important parts for him. That personas and shadows are universal. That they have existed since ancient times, and that there are probably little-known battles and pacts over the world to harness their power. That I have experience in one such battle, and was in fact created for that purpose. I am a weapon given a heart, in order to use a persona. I explained that Labrys was a prototype, long sealed away, one that was lost during a recent incident. Yosuke-san doesn't seem to swallow all of it, but he listens intently nonetheless.
There are shadows outside the TV too? Who would have thought?
I was surprised as well, to find out that a world like this was accessible through televisions.
Believe me, we were pretty shocked last year too.
I looked straight into the boy's eyes without laughing at his attempt to lighten the mood. Only the winner can leave, so we must fight. There is no ignoring that cold fact. I suspect the shadow set this up to buy time. We don't have a moment to waste. I don't say anything, but Yosuke seems to get the picture.
Can you tell me something? What's going to happen to Labrys once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
Yeah, I thought so. You did say that she was a weapon after all. Not really surprised you can't talk about it with outsiders.
Is that all? I must go get her back. If you cooperate with me, I am sure I can knock you out painlessly.
In response to my blank suggestion, a wry smile appears on Yosuke-san's face. However, his eyes still have that gleam.
Sorry, but I can't back down.
Are you really going to fight me? Not to boast, but you would challenge a living weapon?
She said she wanted to be free. Hey, I made her a promise. I want to see it through. I guess you could say it's a guy pride thing?
He jokes about it, but there is resolve behind his words. He will not back down. What he is really saying is this. My feelings for Labrys are as strong as yours. I smile inwardly, though it does not show on my face.
Understand. I accept your challenge.
Well, checking the recording, checking the stream quit, looking good. Let's see if I can remember how to play Labrys, Aegis.
Light damage, bramble. No crap.
Well, that wasn't too bad. Not bad for someone who's actually terrible with the character, no matter how much I love her. Yosuke-san smiles sheepishly at me from the floor.
I had a feeling I didn't have a chance against a pro like you. Ow. You sure are strong, Aegis-san.
I mean, fair point. She does have 2 years experience. She does have a year experience over you.
Are you all right?
In fact, she has more. He waves his hand to show that he is fine. He should be exhausted. Perhaps the male pride prevents him from admitting it.
Looks like I'll be staying behind.
I will do what I can to not force anything on my sister that she does not want.
Can you tell her that I wanted to apologize to her too? Of course, I'll tell her myself once this is all over, but... Oh, and one more thing. Tell her we can have a party when this is all over.
Yosuke-san.
Oh, you're invited too, of course.
My heart is warmed. He's not just worried about Labrys's safety, he's worried about her heart. I nod vigorously.
Yes, I will make sure to tell her. Though, we are not capable of eating food. Will that be a problem?
Huh? Really? Nah, it's no problem at all.
Thank you.
I'll save Labrys from this world, from her cell of solitude. There are people in the outside world who accept us as allies. Some of them consider us friends. I'm happy that hope is so close by.
Careful. That shadow looked pretty strong.
I will. Please stay safe.
As he cheers me from behind, I leave the roof. As soon as I re-enter the school, I can sense the shadow's presence without needing to scan for it. I follow the presence back to the announcement room. What could be waiting for me this time? I slowly open the door, wary of an attack. But the room is quiet, no ambush comes. I step inside. Both versions of Labrys are facing each other further into the room. I quickly step between the two, shielding Labrys from her shadow. But the shadow does not seem alarmed. It spins its axe idly.
Too late. I had a feeling you'd be the one to come. Was Yosuke-kun a tough opponent?
Going by light bars, kinda not really. As it finishes the sentence, its axe stops. I brace myself in anticipation of an attack. But the shadow simply smiles brutally.
Just as you thought. The real party begins now.
Just as the words sink in, I hear a sound simultaneously. The heavy sound of the air begins to being sliced behind me. I lunge to the left solely on reflexes. A battle axe slams into the ground where I was only where I had been only milliseconds ago.
What? Sister!
Oh, so close.
Shock spreads across my face. Labrys takes a combat stance with her battle axe. Her wet eyes focused on me. She has chosen to fight for the Unreal School.
Is this what you really want? What else is there for me?
Labrys sounds resigned in her reply. I have no answer for her. My heart aches as if it was cut by a razor.
It's finally come to this. Sister versus sister. Let the battle begin.
You're a jerk, Shadow Labrys! The shadow jeers at me with delight. I do not have the presence of mind to deliver a rejoinder. The battle about to play out is straight from the worst case scenario I had envisioned. The very person I hoped to save. My sister, I must defeat her with my own hands.
Finally. Fight!
Fire! Perceptive impact goes down! Strike! Shot! Scramble! Aerial mode, target lock! Go!
You don't have a persona, sister!
Less damage!
Okay, I should have gotten out of the way of that.
Scramble! Ramp shot! Aerial mode, target lock! Go! Perceptive damage! No! Severe impact! Heavy damage! He's hit! Ignite!
That was my fault. I got myself into a corner. Labras loses her strength and falls to her knees.
Why? Why can't I stay like this?
The hope she risks so much to gain has been shattered. She mutters as piteously as she falls. She is not the only one who wants to collapse. I never imagined this would be so painful. Every time my attacks connected, I felt as if I was tearing out a piece of my heart. This unwanted exchange of violence, ending in one of our destruction, leads to nothing but despair. Each time I felt that pain, the memories of Labras I saw in the classroom, those vivid images made sense. The sterile mechanical rooms that made up most of her visual memories. It must have been in the facility where she was created. At that facility, Labras was forced to endure the same pain she is feeling now. In order to gather combat data, she was forced to destroy her sister models, even though they had hearts. Not just once or twice, but over and over and over. It's too much for my mind to immediately comprehend. Agitation spreads through me like a fever. I clutch my chest.
I knew that you couldn't beat her.
The shadow, in contrast, is completely nonchalant.
Wow, you really didn't have any qualms about attacking her. Deep down, you must really want to make them suffer, don't you? You want them to go through what you had to. No! You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school having a fighting tournament.
This is what shadow do.
You want to see close friends fight for their lives against each other. Because if they do that, then they might understand. You want to make them understand. That ain't true! But it was no use. Even another living weapon can understand you. It's alright though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just please stop!
Just like you once did.
That's all a lie! You're not me!
Here we go. The second morbing.
Finally! You finally said it! I'm finally free!
The shadow's eyes start to glow, full of life. It isn't just a change in its attitude, its power seems to actually be rising. Did something in this conversation and with Labras catalyze this change? Yeah, because Labras wouldn't know about the situation. Too late, it hits me. What did the shadow want with Labras? It was trying to buy time, which meant it needed something from her.
It's time for the true star to take the stage.
Its shadow shakes the air. As if in response to the cry, the room begins to warp. The view beyond the window shimmers ominously.
Yes, the power!
The Minotaur emerges once more. A giant incinerator appears from the darkness. Countless chassis are falling in to be coolly destroyed, illuminated by the blood-red light of the flames, and the shadow reveals its true self. Seeing Labrys's look-alike command and a giant beast behind it brings to mind the summoning of a persona. I run over to Labrys and stand her listless body up.
I won't be that trash anymore.
It seems that the shadow has accomplished its goal with Labrys. I was used, forced to destroy my sister for this purpose. Forced to fight my sister for this purpose. Jesus, that made, as I changed the context of that. I clenched my teeth at my own slowness as to comprehend.
Now, let's get started, shall we?
This isn't just for Labrys. This is the enemy, the fate of anyone not human.
It seems that I must take responsibility for this.
Oh boy.
Finally. Fight!
Not too bad.